You hear it?
Yes.
Yes, marvelous. Rough Magic, starring Donald Von Griffin in extreme close-up. Karen Torres, Leslie Denneberger,
And Kitty.
Lud Montgomery, and me, the GM, Brandon Blackmore. Tonight's game brought to you by Tito's, Handmade Vodka, and A&W Diet Ginger Ale. I'm sorry, root beer, with like genuine artificial flavors. So, there we go. Last week, what happened last week? Oh, I know what happened last week.
Yeah,
I wrote it down. You tracked down Bernadette Blanchard, who was a name given to you by Thierry Lhermitte, the
Yeah. And I thought a door was closed when it wasn't, but I just rolled with it.
A garage guy, who is the one who traumatized Helene Degan. He gave you Bernadette Blanchard's name. You tracked her down between a mixture of official documents from Carol's work and unofficial sources through Johnny Diamond's contacts, etc., etc. You confronted her at her place of business, the commercial patisserie called La Madeleine. La Madeleine. The conversation was consensual, but not entirely satisfying. What?
Yeah, unfortunately, much more public than I thought it was. When we were role-playing it, I thought the door was closed.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I don't think that would make any difference.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think that idea.
Okay.
The only person outside the door was you guys and her right-hand man, Eve. And
Right, but it would have been different if it was two individuals in an office than if it was a bunch of people outside as well.
Well, I don't think it would have gone any differently. So
Okay.
don't sweat it.
Okay, no problem then.
What you did. Oh, and then a couple of days go by, and you guys return to your normal routines. I guess while you're considering what else, if anything, to do, a couple of days go by. Dr. Celyddon uses sorcery to surreptitiously lift facts about Lhermitte from Blanchard's mind.
Yes.
And in the process of that, and one of the things that was a kind of surprise was she's actually been a client of Dr. Celyddon's for over a year. He has known her as Bianca, and he kind of assumed that she was either a prostitute or someone who supervised prostitutes. Because she kind of gives off a vibe of, I tell people what to do,
Right.
but she has money, she knows what she wants.
I intentionally do not ask questions.
Top drawer stuff for her, by the way. Not your normal, makes you look younger for like a week, but it doesn't really actually make you any younger kind of stuff. Top drawer stuff for her. She pays top marks, or francs. Are you using francs? Francs.
Yes.
Anyway, but you do find out that what she said to Johnny Diamond, she apparently believes that she knew nothing about Lhermitte's occult activities or ghouls or the Nightmare Stone or any of that. As far as she knew, he made alcohol de contraband, moonshine. And he told her he had a concoction that would make someone lose their memory. And she's paid him to do that to several people that she wanted to get rid of, but didn't really want to have killed. And from her point of view...
Considering the bones down in the ghoul pit, I'm not so sure how well he followed her directions.
He probably had. Those were probably ones she wanted killed.
Yeah, I was figuring that's the sideline going on.
I don't know about that. But from her point of view, from Dr. Celyddon's view of her story that she tells herself, she was being merciful by sending Helene Degan to Thierry Lhermitte, or vice versa. Let's see. What else did you find that was interesting?
She's blackmailing the owner of the casino.
Oh, yeah, she's been blackmailing Michel Galabru, the unpleasant gentleman that Helene Degan has been seeing for about 6 months, to get a cut of the Alegria Casino's profits, which is actually currently under control of the Parain, which is like a different faction of the milieu. Because her faction is the Pied Noir. She's actually from Algeria. She was born in Algeria. She's French by heredity, whatever.
She's French nationalities.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, her great-great-grandparents were French. And then there's the whole Algeria and then back to France thing. So, what else? What was I saying? Oh, yeah, Galabru's been selling Lermite's moonshine as Russian vodka at his casinos, which he has 3. And that is how she learned of Lermite's existence, because she was trying to find leverage on Galabru. And she was tracking down who he was getting his liquor from, and that's how she found Lermite. And then in the process of threatening to kill Lermite, she found out that Lermite's been giving... So it's like a whole circle of life for criminals. There you go. Let's see. Oh, she wanted to keep her machinations concerning the Alegria Casino...
A secret.
Not secret. Secret is a strong word. She just didn't want to tell him about it just yet until she had... until some future date. She clearly has a plan, but what that plan is was not entirely clear from what Dr. Celyddon was pulling out of her brain. Just the fact that for the time being, her boss does not know her involvement with the Alegria Casino or Michel Galabru. Which is actually why she had Lermite take care of Helene, because Helene was starting to make noise and risk getting her boss's attention, a fellow named Jean-Jacques Vercher. So, there you go. It all makes sense.
Does she ever go back to the doc for any more of his potions?
Well, it's only been a few days.
Yeah.
Since the interview at La Madeleine. Let's see. Oh, and meanwhile, Leslie...
So it'll probably take a month for her to go through it.
Meanwhile, Leslie
checked on Helene Degan and made some inroads into making peace with Marguerite Degan. And Helene is doing much better. She could interact. She could hold a conversation, form complete sentences, although she clearly doesn't remember large chunks of her life. But, she can feed herself, she can dress herself, she can talk, but once in a while you'll say something and she'll just look at you blankly and she'll ask you, what do you mean? What is end table? What is that? And then you'll realize that there's big chunks of her mind missing. But she's getting better. So there you go. Kind of like Uhura when Nomad sucked her brain dry. They had to teach her Swahili, and, a week later, she was fine. So.
Well, that's modern, futuristic science.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's virtually indistinguishable from magic.
Exactly.
Well, it helps it was a weekly show. So, next week, you basically had to be back where you were at the beginning of this week. Mm-hmm. It's like everything resets.
Well, you can also assume that in that week, maybe a couple years has passed, or maybe a couple months, or something like that. You never know.
Yeah, that's actually in the old Star Trek. That was actually true. The time that passed was not linear at all. I actually had this is before computers, right? It shows how horribly old I am. But when I first started watching the original Star Trek, which we just called Star Trek back then, I had a card file of recipe cards. Nobody under 40 is going to know what that is. It's a metal box, but yay big, with pieces of paper this big. And I would write at the top the title of this episode, and if they gave me the date, the star date, I would write that down too, along with a brief synopsis. I was actually writing my own guide and I was trying to figure out what the timeline was, because they didn't get broadcast in any kind of normal order. Yeah, it's just all, afternoon at 4 in the afternoon on UHF channel. I don't know why I've got down that road. Anyway, long story short, she's getting better. So, We will say that the day that Dr. Celyddon did his deal was yesterday, which was, we will call that Thursday. So, like, almost a week has gone by, because it was like the weekend last time you did stuff. So it has been, the better part of a week. So, Thursday night, anybody doing anything fun?
Well, I'll make sure that I go and pass all of the information that I learned from delving into this girl's brain and pass it on to Johnny Diamond so that he will have the information he needs.
Cool. We can assume everybody's just hanging out there.
Yep.
This is an unusual evening. Or not unusual. It's like about half the time. Like Leslie's band does not play every single night. It'll be like one
we
night
have to
on
rehearse
and
too.
2 nights off. Yeah, you got to go to other places too. You can't just play at one place.
Yeah.
So tonight,
And I think all
Leslie's-
of us have day jobs of some sort.
probably. Well, Leslie doesn't really need one, but
Nah.
just for fun. So
Hey,
you're
I
hanging
can
out.
turn leaves into gold if I want to. Fairy trick.
It doesn't stay that way, but yeah.
I know, but hey.
Hey, look! I found this gold ashtray.
Yeah.
I'll sell it to you. They get it home and it's glass. So you're hanging out. And there's a band playing. And Leslie's not working tonight. You're just hanging out, and Dr. Celyddon has told you everything that I just told you, and now you can finish off with whatever you want to add to that.
You know, I think I was a wee bit too nice to him, it sounds like. Yeah. I wonder if it's too late to throw a fairy curse in his direction.
Will it meet?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have anything that belongs to him, so that would be
yeah,
pretty...
unfortunately. Well, if I ever do find something.
It's a shame we can't just, like, turn
Well,
a
we know what
millionaire
he looks like.
entrepreneur loose on him.
Yeah, that's true. We could.
What? What do you mean?
She did want to go after the person that was responsible. We now actually know the person.
Yeah,
who's
we
responsible.
actually have the name of the person responsible, and he's not going to be but so dangerous to her.
He's still gonna
Not
be
as
dead.
dangerous as a high level. Not as dangerous as Bernadette is.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
talking about giving his name to Marguerite Dagon.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
getting Marguerite Dagon what she needs to follow him.
Yeah, she is pretty hell bent on being allowed to,
Get
do it
revenge.
herself.
Well, it's up to you guys.
Mm.
But though I wouldn't want her to do it without some high level backing, like whatever magic she's willing to use, aka a
Doesn't seem very
priest.
well.
Yeah.
Well, Doc Celyddon, would you be able to go back to the hole that's now it used to be a garage and use it to anything there to track the
Well,
guy?
There's a distinct possibility. It's a matter of difficulty rather than a matter of whether it can or cannot be done. Certainly, I suppose I could. Is that the sort of thing we wish to do, though? Because we're going to be sicking this woman on him. Granted, I mean, he's a complete wretch as far as humanity is concerned, pretty much the lowest of the low. Anybody who keeps ghouls in their basement is a convenient garbage disposal, is not a human being, to be
He actually built a thing to go down and visit them. That was... It's not like they were just there and he was aware of it. He actually built a thing, like a cage that would go down
He
to
fed. In other words, he fed them
Well, we saw
regularly.
him in
Apparently.
Oh, yes.
it. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah, and as you recall, the cage thing, you couldn't actually operate it from in the cage. You had to stand. You had to stand over there and do the switch.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, in which case, my suggestion would be to contact the sister in question and let her know who it was that she needs to find, and see if she wishes to pursue it.
Yeah, so what
I'm not going
information?
to way to hunt this guy down if I don't have to.
So then the question is, what information about him can we give her?
His description, his last known whereabouts, i.e., a smoking crater in the ground.
His
and-
name, unless he's changed it.
Yeah, I'm afraid he may very well have changed his occupation too. I think I suggested that to him.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, but it's a start. I mean, I dare say there's not too far off of that he could actually go if he doesn't have the training.
Mm.
He doesn't strike me as the type to move to Louisiana and start a new life with a new, completely new career and things like that. So yeah, he's probably somewhere close by still.
And probably still doing a garage.
Well,
Or
Carol knows.
something.
Carol knows from the stuff she pulled up on him that he has a criminal history, and he was actually in prison for a couple of years for car theft. So
Yeah,
does
he
kind
probably
of have a theme.
Okay.
So he
Well,
might have a
I
chop
will-
shop.
I will gather up his record and prepare to present them to Marguerite.
Copies, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes.
Of
I'm not
course.
bringing anything that's not a copy.
Okay, when are you gonna? Who is gonna take them to Marguerite and when? Because today is late Thursday night is when you're having this conversation.
Probably won't want to wait till the next day.
She's her client. I mean, I believe that's up to you.
It is so tempting to head over right now with a sense of urgency about it.
A flair for the dramatic, I guess.
But I suppose it could wait till tomorrow. You know what? I will telephone her house.
Okay. You call, the phone rings, and a few rings later, a man answers the phone, and he says, Dagon residence.
Marguerite Dagon, please.
Who, may I ask, is calling?
Johnny Diamond.
One moment, Mr. Diamond. Clunk. As he puts down the... Okay, then, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes go by. And... Hello? Mr. Diamond.
Hui. Hello.
This is rather late to telephone. Do you have information?
Yes, I do. Otherwise, I wouldn't have telephones. When would you like to meet? I believe I have the name and legal background on the person who did that to Helena.
Right now. Come right... Well, actually, wait. Okay. How urgent is it? Is he in danger of getting away, or does he know that you're on to him?
He has been scared off from this area, but has quite a record. I don't think he would be hard for a good professional to track.
Indeed. Okay. Well, it sounds like this can wait till tomorrow. So, I have meetings until early afternoon. Let us say 3 in the afternoon. Would that work for you?
That would be splendid.
Okay. Come to the house. I'll come back home for that. 3 o'clock.
I will see you then.
Good evening. Click.
Yeah, I figured she'd want to know.
I assume you had that conversation back in your office and then you come back out.
Yeah. I come back out and I tell my friends tomorrow I will give her the information she needs to continue this.
She may actually ask you to do the search.
Oh, I wouldn't. It's not my line.
Oh.
And it may involve like going elsewhere, you know.
Yeah, true.
Like he may have gone to
it's sure to be troublesome.
Yeah,
he may have gone
probably
to
could hire-
Angleterre or Spain, or who knows. You don't know.
I'm guessing not that far.
Yeah, but you don't know. and whoever does it will actually have to follow that track wherever it is. So I can see why Johnny Diamond really wouldn't want to take that on.
Yeah, really not my field.
Oh, I do have a question, Brandon. Have I found out anything new from the Ministry of Armaments on the missing item that the Egyptian was looking for?
Remind me how you're finding that information out.
Well, it's a magical item, and I've basically just been checking through any of my contacts in that particular field to see if they know anything about it.
A necromancer, not like close friends because they tend to be creepy and they smell, but
and they keep disturbing things in their basement.
A necromancer, mentions he hasn't heard about that, but would it be related to some kind of brawl in? I gotta look up the neighborhoods. It's a crappy neighborhood. I need to look up where are the crappy neighborhoods. Let's see. Margot. No. Roskinville. No. Crozon. Maybe. Cody's the Fret. No. Lendovidic. No. Argyle. No. We'll say Crozon, which is docks, marinas, piers, warehouses. Anyway, there was a incident of some kind, and a lot of people got killed. And he looks around. He's like, "Don't tell anybody I told you this, because I heard it from a guy who works in the coroner's office." But he said that the bodies, that there was something really wrong with them, really wrong with them. I offered to buy them, but he said, no, there's way too much tension on these. So if one of them went missing, somebody would notice, which is a shame. Why are you asking about this?
Working for a client.
Okay. Well, that's the only thing I've heard about.
Okay.
That even vaguely sounds, some kind of magic thing.
Okay, well, this is a little bit more up your alley. You heard about, or you may or may not have. I'll describe Lamitte's garage. You did hear about the collection of ghouls that were living under it, right?
Yes. Oh, what a waste! What a loss! I'd love to go out there and see if there's, but I mean, they tend to be pretty thorough when they find ghouls under a building. So,
well, I can tell you from an eyewitness that the tunnels that were under the garage were said to be fairly extensive.
Oh, you think?
They may very well have moved on.
Well, I think I might take a vacation in Telegrux-sur-Mer.
What?
Oh, jeez.
Do you if I do find some, do you want one?
Oh, good Lord, no.
Oh, okay.
Pat him on the shoulder.
Finder's fee, this seems fair.
Pat him on the shoulder. It's like, no, you don't understand. It's I'm of the opinion that anybody with half a brain, even if they keep it on their desk, doesn't mess around with the undead. So.
Well, certainly amateurs shouldn't. Okay.
Exactly.
Well, hey, thanks for the info.
Good luck.
Thanks. All right. So, anything else going on? Anything else going on Thursday night?
I'll follow up the incident when I can.
Okay. Probably sometime Friday. It's getting kind of late. Okay, so unless somebody else has something they want to throw out, Thursday comes and goes, and it's Friday morning. Does anybody want to throw something out before I go on with Friday morning? No? Friday morning, bright and early, Johnny Diamond comes into the office, and their cooks are in there prepping and chopping up fresh veggies, and people out front are sweeping and mopping and dusting the chandeliers and so on and so forth. And just, it's like, there's not a song playing, but if it was musical, there would be. They'd all be singing. Da, 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 da. And so he goes back into his office and he starts doing the books from the night before, et cetera, et cetera. You know, because you don't want to do that.
I was gonna say I have culture. How about I play a song on the piano for him?
You can totally do that.
And then you can do the books.
I roll a 9 plus a 6. 15.
Cool.
Wow, that was a good roll. Yes, it's a jaunty tune, huh?
Passers-by on the street join them in a syncopated dance choreography.
It just sounds like American
Piano, not
music to me.
violin.
Yeah, I'm the violinist, remember.
Yeah, piano, not fiddle. Thank you.
I'm the fiddle
Okay,
player.
So, no, that's a little Motown there.
Yeah, I play them some Motown. It's the 60s.
All right then. So you were entertaining the staff for a bit. Oh, here's a piano. Honky tonk. I could see Johnny Diamond playing this, sure.
Yes, so could I. This is right about what he'd play.
Okay, so you entertain the staff for a while, play a couple songs, but then you really do have paperwork and stuff to go through from the night before, receipts and so forth, to figure out what, liquor you need to reorder and whether you're low on crepe materials. Right. Whatever crepes are made out of. Eggs, I guess, right? Okay. So.
Flour.
Plaster of plaster of Paris.
Yeah.
So you're in your office, and there is a knock at the door of your office. And then the door opens, and you see this fellow. Ah, here we go. I will show you this fellow's face, and you will recognize it because you have seen him before. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the door to your office, there's a knock. The door opens. He looks in. He sees you. He looks out into the hallway again. He says, "This is the room here. He's in here." And he steps out of the way. And then, where are you? You're here somewhere. I've seen you. Ah, there you go. And then this lady walks into your office, and she looks around.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she looks around, and she says, "This will do. Make sure no one disturbs us, Eve." And he nods, and he closes the door, and she goes over to a chair opposite your desk, and she adjusts it and sits down.
As she sits down, welcome, and allow me to apologize for our last meeting.
Apology accepted, Mr. Diamond.
It seems things were not entirely as I had assumed.
Well, you had me at something of a disadvantage. I thought it only fair to balance the scales. So, I have a few questions for you, and if you answer them truthfully, and I don't learn anything too surprising, then you can go back to your business and all of your employees can go back to their work.
Well, then please proceed.
She takes out a cigarette and lights it.
Oh, I'll light it for her.
Oh, great! Yeah. She plays the femme fatale really well. It's you've seen her at work, so you know it's kind of a put on, but she's had a lot of practice. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I will feed her every line she desires. In that front.
Yeah.
Not falling for it one bit, but feed her every line she desires.
So, why were you looking into the affairs of Helene de Gaulle? Oh,
I
that
was
would have been a
asked-
good. That would have been a good title for this chapter. I did the girl with the death in her eyes, because I thought that sounded pretty spooky. But the affairs of Helene de Gaulle, that would have been pretty good too. Oh well, whatever.
Yeah.
So why are we looking into the affairs of Helene de Gaulle?
Well, as you know, I have adopted this place as my home, and all of its people. Some
You
of
mean
them
your-
need watching out for.
Your nightclub
Cameray Sumer.
with the entire city.
It is
My
my
goodness.
home.
You do think a lot of yourself, don't you? Go on.
There are a lot of people in this town who need help.
Certainly.
Some of them with a great deal more influence than others. And this was one of those cases.
Can you be more specific? I have time, but maybe not quite this much time.
The girl's sister asked me to find the one responsible for her condition.
Oh, of course, that makes sense. What do you know about Thierry Lemieux? Clearly, you know about him. Or you know more than most people.
I know about the ghouls in the cage that drop down into the catacombs, and I know about.
Let's back up just a step. Let's assume that I don't know what you're talking about, because I don't. So why don't you tell me everything you know about Thierry Lemieux?
I pull out a copy from my files of the report that I was going to give to.
She'll
You know,
take it.
basically,
She'll flip through it.
not the copy that I had set aside for Marguerite, but the copy from my files on Lemieux.
And this is just his criminal background, right? Does it include stuff about the Nightmare Stone and the ghouls and all that?
Yeah, it is basically it's setting him up for someone to go chase him down for the torture of Helene de Gaulle.
But I mean, it's got it actually. You haven't left anything out, is what I'm asking.
I'm not sure if I'd have mentioned the ghouls under his garage. No, the ghouls under his garage would not have been in this report.
I'm hoping you didn't mention any connections to the summer court either.
No. This is just what was going to Marguerite. This is
Okay.
just what I know of Terry Lemieux and what he did and how he used what he used.
Okay. Well, she looks at it and she goes, "Well, people will surprise you sometimes, won't they?" Thank you. That's interesting. Just so you know, I didn't know about that. What I thought was going on was he made contraband alcohol and dabbled in concoctions that could alter or erase one's memory or scramble them. Is how he put it to me. And they were effective. Well, what I thought he was doing was effective at what I thought I wanted him to do. But according to your investigation, he was using some kind of a occult artifact?
Yes.
Where's that artifact now?
It has once again been lost.
Really? If I were to search this office, would I find it miraculously?
I don't believe
It's
if
the
you
entire
search.
plane, and you're not going to find
Yeah, I don't believe if you searched this plane of existence, you would find it right now.
Do I think you're lying? She squints at you just a little bit, and
He's
she
kind of a
says,
shifty, odd-looking individual, isn't he?
He's not lying, that's the thing.
I very carefully pronounce for her. It has gone home.
"I think that I believe you." Moving on. So, you found out what he was doing, and that is how... Leading questions. Don't ask leading questions. Your charm has got the better of me. So, How did you find my name and my relationship to Mr. Lemite?
Oh, well, he told me.
He would. He was entirely too easy to... No, that makes perfect sense.
I'm fairly sure that his trousers were wet after the meeting.
No, he was entirely too easy to sway to my cause. I can easily imagine that a sufficiently articulate threat would give someone my name. I should have gone through an intermediary. Oh well. So, let's see. Is there anything else I need to know? Oh, what will you do with this information now, Mr. Diamond?
Well, see, I will probably turn Mr. Lemite over to Miss Dagon, as she requested, so that she may chase him down and eliminate him from this earth.
And you will helpfully omit any mention of my involvement or the Pied Noir or the Milieu?
You did not see any in the file, did you?
No.
That is all that she will get.
Okay. That's satisfactory. Now, there is something that I want to discuss with you. I would consider this particular matter closed, unless there's anything else you want to say.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. There's something else I want to discuss with you.
As long as you will take no repercussions against those who chase down Lemite.
I don't think I have any reason to do that. However, we are waiting for someone, and as soon as he arrives, then we can continue our conversation. So you can go back to your paperwork, whatever it is you were doing. I'll wait.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Dr. Celyddon is awoken by frantic pounding on his door.
All right. Put on bathrobe, pick up gun, walk to front door.
There's
Who is it?
a woman frantically pounding on your front door. It is Arlene from the Cafe Azure Americain. She is not smiling. She looks like she's in panic mode.
Arlene, to what do I owe the honor at this hour?
Dr. Celyddon! Dr. Celyddon! Her Louisiana accent is pretty thick because she's not focusing on having a French accent.
Right. I
so
speak English anyways.
Gangsters, like a dozen of them. They came to the cafe, and this man said, he gave me your address, and he said to come and tell you to come there now. And if you don't, terrible, terrible things will happen. That's literally what he said. He did not go into specifics. He just said terrible, terrible things. So, please come now. Please.
See, Arlene, this is why one should always abide by the law. I'll be right back.
She stands on your stoops and frets.
No, I'll let her in.
Oh, then she comes into your entryway and frets.
Frets, okay. I'll put on pants, shirt, vest, coat, hat, grab my shit, go.
She rushes with you back to the Cafe Azure Americain. When you get there, the front door has the closed sign on the door, which is normal for this time of the morning. They're still getting prepped. However, what's not normal is the two large, rather lumpy-looking gentlemen outside the front door. And I thought I heard something.
Carry on, how's this?
She rushes to the front door and just goes inside, and they let her, and they like give you an eye, you know, when you but they don't stop you.
I will smile as I go past.
And inside, it looks like everyone who works there is seated in the main dining room, and there are 6-8 lumpy-looking gentlemen and a couple of women, mostly dudes though, lumpy-looking women as well, and just like watching the people sitting down, who are all like smoking, and drinking and smoking and like looking very nervous. And as you go in, Arlene looks around, and then the fellow that I showed the picture of earlier, Eve.
Kieran, that's you.
Yeah.
Strong buzz.
Okay.
Better now. That's better now. Thank you. Eve, he walks up to Arlene, and he nods deferentially to her, and she says, this is him? Oh, yes, I recognize you. Come with me, please.
While she's doing that, I'm going to take off my hat and make a point to look for a couple of seconds at every single one of the thugs that are standing in here. No expression. I just want everybody to see that I'm marking them.
Well, let's see what kind of reaction you get, because that'll be fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Over half of them visibly go pale when you look at them, because apparently they know who, or not, maybe not exactly who you are, but they basically know what you are. Or
I've got a good idea of what I am. Yes, okay.
They may not even have details about that, but they have a general idea. You're bad news, and you're here, and you just looked straight at them. Only like 4 out of the 7 do that.
Okay.
The other 3, they're just hard as nails. They don't react at all. But that's pretty good. Anyway, Eve says nobody appears to have been hurt or even roughed up. So it's
Okay.
basically they are occupying the place for nefarious purposes, I'm sure. But nobody even has a gun drawn.
Take off my hat, set it down on the table.
For what it's worth. If you remember when the Count, his guys came, they were waving guns around like crazy. These they're not. There's no guns visible. You know they have them, but
they know I've got at least 1 too, because I'm visibly armed.
It's a better class of thug, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, or at least a better controlled class of thug, anyway. Also, this just occurred to me. Can I sense auras while I'm doing this too? See if anybody's got any kind of heavy magical protection.
Sure, why not? This would be. Let's go back and see what that is. I always need to refresh my memory. Okay, it would be a perception power roll. So it's a perception skill using your power attribute.
Okay.
And
17.
Shall we? You look around the room. One of the other thugs, and it's one of the ones who is hard as nails, is a magician. And let's see, their power is 3. That's one of the things you can kind of see, if you squint at them. And you did make a point of like focusing on each person, so but there's a good chance they're looking back at you and they know you're a magician too. Of course, that wasn't really a secret.
Nope. Karen, you're back.
Yep.
You see, like 1 or 2, probably low level, like good luck charms or defensive charms on, like all but 1 or 2 of these, all but 2 of these. So let's say there's 7. 4 of them blanched visibly when you looked at them. One of the other 3 is a magician themselves, and 3 of the 4 that blanched and 2 of the ones that didn't have a couple of 1 or 2 low-level magical charms of some sort on them.
Okay.
So Karen's back! Yay! Everything cool?
Yeah, my computer decided it needed to instantly reboot when I disconnected.
Show you who's boss, I guess. Yeah. All right, so Eve says, "Follow me," and he turns to lead you back to Johnny Diamond's office, and he stops and he turns to Arlene. He says, "You can sit down, get something to drink, relax, it'll be fine." And Eve heads back to Johnny Diamond's office. Doc Celyddon follows, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a knock at the door a few minutes later, and the door opens. Eve looks at Ms. Blanchard and says, "He's here. And he steps out of the doorway, and he gestures for Dr. Celyddon to go in.
Walk in with a slightly amused smile on my face.
And you see Johnny Diamond behind the desk, and Bernadette Blanchard in a chair across from him. She's smoking a cigarette. Oh, by this point, she's got a glass of wine.
Okay.
You took more than 2 or 3 minutes, and so she's called for Eve and said, "Bring me a Chardonnay," and he did. It's like 8 in the morning.
Yeah. I was thinking a good morning wine.
So anyway,
A good breakfast wine.
She does not stand up, but she does greet Dr. Celyddon. She says, "Good morning, Dr. Celyddon. I hope we didn't disturb you."
I don't normally get up this early, but if the reason is serious enough, then I'll always be willing to make an exception. Does she react when she sees me?
No, she clearly expected you.
Oh, okay.
She sent for you, actually.
Yeah, she's the one who sent for you.
I just didn't know if she knew that I was the same one that has been selling her youth potions.
If she's surprised, she's hiding it extremely well. However,
Okay.
She says, "I've asked Mr. Diamond several questions, but I have a couple for you as well. First,
All right.
and Eve closes the door behind you. You can sit or stand as you want." She doesn't say that, but there's a chair. Do you sit or do you stand?
I stand.
Okay. Wait, did you say sit?
Stand.
Stand, okay. Anyway, she says, "I have a couple of questions for you. First,
Oh, wow.
my initial thought when you visited me at my place of business is that you intended to blackmail me. I don't think that's the case, but I would like to hear you say it."
No, not at all.
Good.
I prefer to maintain a fairly strict business-client relationship with everyone that I deal with, and so no, I'm not in the practice of using any information that I may gain in the course of my business for blackmail purposes.
Johnny Diamond will step in with, and if he were, he would no longer get preferential treatment at this establishment. Blackmailers are the lowest of scum.
Are they? Well,
Congratulations, you just insulted her.
well,
Cowards.
that's good to know. Which brings me to another point, which is, and she reaches into like an inner pocket of her jacket, and she brings out like a small glass vial. Actually, not like that. More like this. A small glass vial about yay big.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's a sealed glass ampule, which means it's completely sealed glass. It's hollow and it's got a gray liquid on the inside. And Doc Celyddon can make a thaumaturgy roll to see if he knows what this is.
He's a 16.
And I got to roll against you. Oh, yep. You recognize it. But I'll have her tell you. But just assume that Doc Celyddon already knows what she's going to say. She says to Mr. Diamond, "Do you know what this is?" And she puts it on the desk in front of him. This small glass ampule filled with gray liquid. Like smoke. Like liquid smoke.
Okay, can I make a thaumaturgy plus reason roll?
Oh, that's right. You do have thaumaturgy too, don't you? Yeah, okay. Roll.
Yes.
I will roll against you.
11 total.
Okay, you don't.
Okay.
I rolled poorly against Lloyd, and I rolled really well against you.
It's not heroin, is it?
No.
With kind of a what a disgusting thing heroin is.
No. In the world we live in, it is sometimes the case that people will try to invade one's mind to find things that they shouldn't know. It can be difficult to prevent that. And in my experience, the expense involved is not feasible. So, what this is It's a very, very weak form of mental magic. It has a connection to the person holding it that can be disrupted by the slightest mental magic, at which point the clear liquid turns cloudy. So sometime yesterday afternoon, this turned cloudy. Being that the only magician I've spoken to in weeks has Dr. Celyddon, I find myself wondering if that's a coincidence. Is it?
I look over at Doc Celyddon with a really interested look in my face, like, can't wait to hear this one.
It may very well be.
Did you learn what you wanted to know?
And nothing more.
Well, let's leave it at that. So, she picks up and puts it back in her pocket. Now that we've settled those questions, I thought I would like to retain your services. Both of you.
For what purpose?
The details are complicated. I was approached by an unusual client who wanted to obtain a particular magical, she gestures to Dr. Celyddon, magical artifact. It was in the possession of the Imperial military, the Navy, actually, at that moment. Something went wrong, and my people were killed.
Hello, darling.
And the object was stolen from us in the process of our stealing it from someone else. Okay. Do you want to pause? We could pause. I'm doing an exposition dump, so if you want to take a break and go use the bathroom and come back, we can do it over.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Yeah.
Oh, you're listening. All right. Well,
I'm good either way.
all right. Well, we'll just catch Leslie up then. So, for reasons I don't really want to go into, this is causing me some difficulty, some friction with my superior in the milieu, who's a brilliant man in his own way, but he can be a bit grumpy. So, I need to find out who stole this item from us, and of lesser importance is that they killed my men, but that's also important. And I need the item retrieved. Now, the theory among most of my employees is that it was the Gitane, the travelers, gypsies, because I think it was made to look like them. But I don't think that's who it was, because I don't see why they would do it. It would cause a war between their faction and the Pied Noir. So, but if it wasn't, then who was it? I don't know.
Can you describe the item in question?
Unfortunately not. I have not seen it.
Ah.
However, I can tell you where the drop was. We had someone on the inside in the... I've forgotten the name of it. Hang on, I gotta look up the name.
Okay.
It's at the top of this page. It's right here. The Directorate General of Armaments, or the DGA, which is a research and development service of the Ministry of the Armed Forces. Anyway, so the Directorate General of Armaments, I had someone on the inside there who had arranged for it to be unsecured for a period of time at a particular location. I can tell you where that was. Maybe you can find something there, although the police didn't.
Any information, any details you can provide will certainly make things more helpful to locating the object.
Okay. She'll dictate to Mr. Diamond, write this down, please. And she tells you an address, and then she describes the area. It is an alley between two warehouses. It is past a large metal structure that is used for garbage disposal. Just past that, there is a tree, and then there is a slight jog to the left. The alleyway cuts slightly to the left, where like buildings are not completely aligned. And past that, there's a clearing. That is where the exchange was to be held. That is where my people were killed, and where the object was stolen from.
I see. And it was in the hands of the DGA, you say?
It was. It is no longer.
Guys, I forgot to get something at the store, so I have to go out for about like half an hour or so.
We'll be here. Drive safely.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Yep.
You could turn your camera. No.
Oh, well.
Oh well. I just hope her roommates just don't start playing loud music. So, anyway, yes, it was in the hands of the DGA. It is no longer. They know that it was stolen. They
Right.
don't. I don't know if they know who stole it. I don't have those kinds of contacts.
Do you know anything of the effects that the device produces?
It is a death ray. Or that's what I was told.
Technically speaking, there's no such thing as a death ray, but I get you.
Johnny Diamond gives an amused, a death ray, you say?
I don't really care what the device was or is. I was asked to obtain it. I was paid to obtain it. The client is unhappy. This is not a client I want to make unhappy. The repercussions would be severe.
I see. Well, I can make no guarantees, but I can certainly look into finding the item for you.
Well, you did a marvelous job finding me. And I thought that with your combination of expertise and the young woman who works at the SIT, who was with you on Tuesday, I thought that between you might have resources that I lack.
It's always important to have friends in different places.
And you'll be paid.
Oh, excellent. Let's see, Mr. Diamond, do you have any questions? I can't think of anything else. I can certainly look into it from my angle.
Well, I can poke around. I don't really deal in such things anymore, but
Oh,
several of my former contacts still do.
I don't know if it will do you any good, but our contact in the DGA, who is what his name was, Gaspard Clerk.
Okay,
He's dead.
that's-
He's dead now.
I was going to say, does that ring a bell?
To you, no.
To me, yes,
Okay.
3 ones. Very loud, like church bells, I suppose.
I don't know if his murder had anything to do with it, but the coincidence is significant.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure entirely certain that I can help, but I do know a wide range of people. I can ask around.
Wonderful. And in exchange, let's just say that you will continue to have the protection of the Pied Noir.
Oh, continue. So I do have the protection?
Do you think it's a coincidence that you've been operating here for this long and
only have my maitre d' assassinated accidentally on an attempt on my life, and only have myself locked up in jail for nearly a week for that same murder, and only... Please.
Well, no one's perfect.
I solve many of my own problems. Let us not pretend.
All right,
I am not a simple grocery clerk.
Fair enough. We can find some kind of compensation you'd find acceptable, I'm sure. If that's all,
yes.
She puts out her cigarette, stands up. Good day, gentlemen.
Good day. I hope you enjoyed the visit as much as I did.
Oh, it's not my first time. She taps on the door, and it opens, and Eve holds it open for her, and she walks out.
Okay.
And she just walks out the back through the kitchen. Eve goes out to the dining room, and he snaps a finger, and everybody just files it behind him, and they all leave, and they get into cars in the back alley, and they drive away.
Am I going to have to turn her and her entire entourage into toads?
And the staff goes wild. Mr. Diamond, Mr. Diamond, what was that? Who are those people, Mr. Diamond? What is going on?
Oh, no one of importance. Don't worry yourself over it.
They seemed important. They seemed quite threatening. Yeah, her people outnumbered. No, they didn't outnumber your people, but there were nearly as many of her people as there are of your people, and her people are thugs. So
yeah,
your people basically just folded.
Yeah, and Johnny Diamond plays it off like it's an average Friday morning event.
The chef, because Darlene is, or is it Arlene? Sorry, Arlene. Arlene is the maitre d'. So she basically controls the front. The head chef controls the kitchen, and he is furious. He's furious, and he's nursing his wrist, and he tells you that those barbarians they attacked me. Look at my wrist. Look at my wrist. I will not be able to julienne French fries for a week. And one of the other staff, they say, well, you pulled a knife on him. What did you think? You're lucky he didn't shoot you. He's like, I was gesturing. I just happened to have a knife in my hand at the time. I was gesturing. And the brute, he grabbed me by my hand and squeezed and made me drop my knife. The edge is probably ruined. Oh, sacre bleu, my knife. And he runs off and he goes to go find his knife.
Well, I look at his staff. Well, now that that matter's settled, everyone back to work.
Wow. Arlene rushes up.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon, but Monsieur Thomas works for a different branch of the milieu than the chip we were just talking
about.
Yeah, he's associated with the Parain.
Parain, okay.
He's like a godfather level figure in this part of France for the Parain. He doesn't really get involved day to day, but yeah.
All right, well, I was already working on this case, so none of the information she gave me was new, though, except the location. I can go and take a look at the location in the alleyway.
Okay. Oh,
And,
Arlene rushes back to make sure everything's okay. Is everything all right, Mr. Diamond? Mr. Diamond, are you okay? I went and got Dr. Celyddon like the man said.
well done, by the way.
Yes, everything's fine. You did it perfectly.
No one got hurt?
No one
I
got
mean-
hurt.
Talked your way out of it.
Because I have heard story after story after story about poor Carl.
Yes, well, the person who brought that upon Carl shared his fate.
Well, at least nobody got hurt this time, right?
Precisely.
Not this time, no.
All right. I hope I did the right thing by getting Dr. Celyddon. He said to go get him. He said, do not go to the police. He said, go directly there, do not come back, and please do not speak to the gendarme. And the way he said please, it was not please.
I'm sure it wasn't, Arlene. You did very well.
Okay.
Exactly as you should.
Well, I'm going to have a stiff one, and we still got a restaurant to clean. She goes out front.
Hold up. I think I'll join you on that. And when she pours hers, I have her do one for me, too.
Kentucky bourbon. She knocks it back. So anyway, what's planned now? What do you guys do? You have somewhere out there in the world, Carol, and somewhere elsewhere in the world, Leslie. You're not going to be able to get in touch with Leslie because he's not home. He's out practicing with his band somewhere, and you don't know where. But if you want to find Carol, you can.
Oh,
She's at work.
I'll go along with that. I'm going to take a break for a minute. Beth just got home, so.
Say hi to Beth.
Okay. I think Johnny Diamond's next step is to go ahead and turn that report in.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. It goes smoothly. There's nothing really of any surprise there.
Okay.
She'll ask you if you want to see Helene. You do or you don't. And if you
Sure.
do, you find out what Leslie
Yeah.
found out, that she's doing much better. She can speak. She reacts to stimuli, which she was not doing before. Otherwise, other than that, she accepts the file. She's going to pay you, right? Yeah, she writes a check for like some ridiculous amount of money. He hands it to you.
Yeah, on Johnny never even talked money. He's letting her handle all of the payment. And so it's probably a really ridiculous sum of money.
Yeah.
Because she'd be willing to pay a ridiculous sum of money if I asked. The fact that I seem unconcerned about it only raises the number, right?
Let's see. Minimum wage is about 2 francs a day.
Mm-hmm.
So, she just cuts you a check for like 1,000 francs.
Yeah.
Hands to you. Which is a ridiculous amount of money. It's almost as much as a typical person earns in a year. But, she's stupidly rich and it's her sister, so whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And that takes care of that. Yay! Actually, I'm going to take a brief break myself. So we're going to pause. And we are back. The red square is still there. So that's stop. Next to it are the big blue bars, which are for pause, which that turns into a red circle when it's paused, which I guess the red circle means record again. Okay. Maybe I'll remember next time. So, where were we? Yeah. So the staff gets back busy doing their business. Johnny Diamond heads out that afternoon to visit Marguerite Degan, hands it over. She hands him back a ridiculously large check, and Helene Degan seems happy to see him, although she doesn't know who he is. And then that's it up there. That afternoon turns into evening. What are people doing?
pursuing what I can about the information concerning the missing MacGuffin.
Well, it's Friday. I'd definitely be checking in with these guys.
Well, you work for the government. You take off at like 3 o'clock on Friday anyway.
Exactly.
You take off for lunch at 1 and never come back.
No, that's her boss. Her boss takes off for lunch at 11 and never comes back. And then she wraps up whatever is still on his desk, which is to say her desk, by 2 or 3 on Friday, and then that's it for the day. Everybody's gone.
I had a co-worker at the Museum of the Confederacy, and on the weekends she was a tour guide. But during the week, she worked for a company that installed cash register systems. And it was worldwide. She loved the job because she got to travel all over the world for 6-week periods and, do her job there. And she said that it was funny because there were certain countries that you would go to. The one that she thought was the most egregious about this was Ireland, in that she had a lot of trouble getting her job done in Ireland because all of the people that she was working with would occasionally just take off for lunch at 11 o'clock in the morning, and you wouldn't see them again. They just take off for the day at 11 o'clock in the morning. And the trouble with it was that all the management was doing it too, so you couldn't get anybody to get any work done.
That's pretty funny. I'm refilling my ice. My ice had all melted. So you can't have hard root beer without ice. It just isn't done. All right.
By the way, that A&W with vodka, in Canada, you can buy that in a can from the store.
You can buy it in a can here. I mean, it's called Not Your Father's Root Beer, but...
Oh, no.
It is A&W root beer with 5% alcohol by volume added.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Because all those Not Your Father's Root Beer, those are malt beverages. They actually have actual drinks with liquor in it.
Yeah, you like lime Ricky soda.
Okay.
I had a 4% alcohol red cream soda. It was awesome.
Okay. Doc Celyddon, give me an idea what kind of stuff you're looking into, and you're looking into it on your own without your entourage of minions?
Yeah, because it's all going to be magic stuff. I'm looking into the warehouse that the necromancer mentioned that something bad happened in, and checking out the alleyway where Bernadette mentioned that she had lost all of her men.
And
But it
see
winds
if
up-
they're adjacent.
It's the same place.
Okay,
So,
just making sure. I wanted to make no assumptions.
you have mail. No, that's not it. Investigation, right?
Do I?
So you're looking around a crime scene. Where's skills? I thought I had a gifts, supernaturals, skills. There we go. Investigation. So this is a reason roll.
Okay.
An investigation reason roll for analyzing evidence at the crime scene. Now the police have already been here and
Right.
gone all over it, so it's not pristine. So it'll be a little bit more difficult than usual. Ooh, and it rolled really high. What do you got?
13.
It's an alley. With that, it looks like a lot of people have been here. Like there's a lot of footprints,
Right.
but you're not really picking up anything. I mean, you don't find new clues. Oh, actually, you do find one clue. Sorry. What was that? Make a mage sight roll. And I'll use that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
I rolled 11 on the dice.
7, 8, 9, 10. You needed a 10. So you did get that. So you look around the scene, mage sight, like to see if anything pops up at you, and a stone about yay big has something weird going on with it. You're not sure what, but it's weird.
All right.
Definitely magic.
Oh, okay. See if I can analyze the magic.
You pick it up or just looking at it?
Where it's sitting at the moment.
Okay. For
Yeah.
this.
I don't want to pick it up and cast the spell on it, only to find out that it's a contact explosive. Or,
Okay, this would be a divination spell.
Okay.
Thaumaturgy plus. Actually, where did I put it? Mental range, defensive, useful, willing, transform. Thaumaturgy, reason, and add your power to that. So it's a thaumaturgy reason roll, add your power to it. And we shall...
That's a very large number.
It is going to be a very large number, I imagine, because you're supremely awesome. Okay, 7. It's difficult. Okay, I got a number. What's your number?
20.
Your number's bigger than my number.
Okay.
It is transformation magic.
Transformation magic.
Yes.
Like the rock is actually the MacGuffin?
I'm going to pull out a large handkerchief.
Oh, I'm sorry. I call it alteration. Sorry. I used to call it transformation. Now it's called alteration. It's alteration magic.
Okay.
Oh, it's also got a bit of conjuration in it, too. So alteration is changing, often radically, the structure and composition of whatever. Matter, energy, anything. Conjuration creates things out of nothing. So it's not literally nothing, but it's nothing that you can see or touch or taste or hear.
So what have I missed?
I think I just discovered the Philosopher's Stone.
Oh, way cool. Is that what Blanchard is looking for?
I don't
No,
know.
she's looking for a death ray, just like
that's what
Thomas.
she's looking for a death ray.
Okay.
But who isn't really?
I-
So we're
Yeah, I know, right?
was
I heard
so
there was
Blanchard
one, and I went, I gotta have it, right?
when you left, Leslie, was Blanchard talking to Johnny Diamond or was she talking to Dr.
Talking to
Celyddon?
both of them. Both of them.
So he had come back. Okay.
Yeah.
Long story short, she wants to hire them to find an object that she was hired to steal, but apparently someone stole it from her people and killed them in the process.
Mm-hmm.
So, she's been paid to get this thing, and she really needs to get this thing. And B, she wants to know who got in and spoiled her plan and killed her people. So those are the things
Okay.
she wants.
So that's why, and in trying to find all this information, that's how Dr. Celyddon found the Philosopher's Stone.
Yes.
Okay.
And it,
Oh, she gave them stuff that Dr. Celyddon already knew, but she also gave them the location of where the drop was to be between the military transport, which was taking it from point A to point B, and her people. There's supposed to be a drop that had been prearranged with her contact, who's now dead. Although the contact did not die then, the contact was killed elsewhere. And it may be
Okay.
unrelated, but she thinks it's related. So Doc Celyddon, this is a Friday afternoon, I guess. Doc Celyddon went out there, and it's over in the warehouse district. It's in Crozon. So he's scoping it out. He didn't really see anything that unusual clue-wise, but with Mage Sight he found a stone about yay big, and he's magically examining it without touching it as of this moment.
Okay. So I haven't missed much. I'm assuming that once he's scoped this place out, we're gonna all go back later and knock some heads together.
one can hope.
Okay.
Could be. Who knows?
Why not?
Anyway, Brandon, I'm going to pull out a handkerchief, put a spell
Okay.
on it to protect me from magical effects, and pick up the rock with the handkerchief.
Okay. On the bottom side of the rock, there is a finger poking out of it.
Oh boy.
I'm tempted to squeal like a little girl and throw it away. Like
So
a
you
human
have-
finger poking out of the rock.
You have a rock, and there's a finger like that. What? Actually, no. Like that, like poking out of it.
Oh, okay. So it's not a death ray. It turns people into, or at least encases them in stone, or turns them into stone. I could see why everybody wants the thing. Okay, well, wrap that up. Bring it along. See, make sure there isn't anything else here that I missed, like people embedded in walls or anything like that.
The Philadelphia experiment, magic-wise.
Exactly. Yeah.
Make another investigation roll. You can add a bonus die because you're spending more time looking around.
Oh, actually, I was gonna scry, see if there was anything here like retrocognition wise or anything like that, so I can see what happened.
Ooh. Let's see. Do I have rolls for this? I may have written this up. Let's see. Healing, protection. Aha! Reason. Okay. It's a thaumaturgy, reason plus power roll. And you're right here. So
Yep.
It's in the past, so it's that much higher. All right, you roll, and I will roll, and I'll tell you what you get.
$21.
More than I rolled. I rolled pretty well, but more than I rolled. Okay. This whole area has, for the lack of a better word, has shifted planes back and forth in an extremely chaotic fashion, like ripples going back and forth like this. Like, not like the whole place moved and then came back, but like a boiling pot of soup. Hello, kitty. Hello, kitty. Susan says congratulations on the job, Karen.
Oh, thank you.
She says thank you.
Way to go.
Way to go.
I said, like the Philadelphia experiment's gone totally wrong. Magically.
Sure.
Tell her we said goodnight.
Night.
They say goodnight. Love you
Good
too,
night,
sweetie.
Susan.
They say goodnight. Good night, Susan. Okay. Oh, and in the process of that, while you're looking at that, you notice there's a tree. Like you go past a tree to get to this particular open area.
Right.
And it's a tree in an alley, but it's an old neighborhood. It's not that unusual. There are bits of stone that are like poking out of the tree, and there are places in the tree that are simply gone. You don't see any like cut marks or knife marks or chainsaw marks or anything. It's just gone, like Swiss cheese in like a particular area of the tree. So there's that.
Okay, interesting.
When you find the pieces of a battleship, let me know. Come here.
The Potemkin?
No, whatever the ship
Yeah,
was.
no.
The
Oh, that was
Eldridge,
the
right?
Eldridge.
Eldridge.
Yes.
That was a battleship.
Whatever kind of ship it was. Penny is back.
Hello, Cat.
Hello, Penny.
All right, and I think this is a pretty good time
Penny.
to
Penny.
do this.
Penny.
Penny, yeah.
Dr.
If there's-
Celyddon. Wait,
Oh, sorry.
bad things are going to happen to you now.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
dear.
Hang on, I gotta find where's actions? Let's see. Make sure I do this right. I don't do combat that often, so I need to.
It's true.
Skills, gifts, magic, equipment, actions. Wow, the link wasn't even highlighted because I haven't clicked on it before. Action value, difficulty value. Post tasks. Your DV, defense value, is your agility plus the rating of any equipment. So you're going to roll 2d6 plus your agility plus the rating of any defensive equipment you've got. And
Okay.
I am rolling my agility plus the rating of my equipment. My equipment is a heavy pistol. So that's how that's going to go. 2d6 plus my agility plus heavy pistol. Yes! I rolled really well.
I rolled 12.
Oh, I hit you. I hit you bad. And we're gonna do the
This isn't good.
what do you call it? I'm trying to blank on my own terms. Something of success. Where is it?
Margin of success.
Margin of success.
Lloyd,
Thank you.
Lloyd, this is when you needed to roll some of your good dice.
16.
Apparently
So
so.
you get a 12, 13, 14, 15. For each 3 over. So 1, 2. You lose 2 health from a pistol shot that is shot at you from down the other end of the alley. Blam! A very loud, very obvious pistol. And bullet. The bullet is actually what hits you.
I would certainly.
A loud bang and then a pistol hits you. Wait, what?
Thunk. Like Superman. Blah, blah, blah. Well,
Can I see who done it?
make a perception roll.
Actually,
Perception plus reason. And you just got shot, so I'm going to give you a penalty die. So,
15.
did you wait? Is that with the penalty die?
No, hang on.
Remove one of your dice. You can remove
10.
the low one. 10. 10. And I am going to run away. You see movement at the other end of the alley as somebody ducks away. And that's all you see. Do you chase them? Or do you put a bandage over your... Was that a magical defenses you've got going on, or is that like a bulletproof vest?
I'm wearing both technically, but it was the amulet. It does it has the greater defense.
Okay. So you have a nasty bruise, but it didn't break the skin. Ow. Ow. It might have killed you if not for that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've already found everything I need to find in this alleyway, so I'll chase after him.
Okay.
I will kill you.
You are chasing somebody. This is fun. I haven't done this. So this is a extended task. So I'm going to set a difficulty value and the required number of successes. And also a maximum number of attempts. So you have 5. I'll say 5. If you don't do it in 5, they get away.
Okay.
And the difficulty value, they got a little head start, so say 6.
Penny,
So
stay
this
off
is
the table.
athletics, unless you can think of a reason why it would be something other than athletics.
Does not spring to mind. I don't
Okay.
have athletics.
So,
but
you don't?
Nope.
Oh, wow. Okay. In which case, you don't get to add your brawn or agility to it. It's just 2d6.
Okay. Just
Stay
do
off the
these.
desk.
A straight 2d6.
All right. First roll is a 7.
Nope.
All right. Shall I continue?
Yeah. You have
Oh, okay.
you have 5 attempts, and you need to get... Wait. I need to say how many you need, don't I? Let's see. Required number... Okay. You have 5 attempts. You need to get 3.
Okay. Second roll is a 4.
Ooh. Wait, 4? Oh, wow.
4.
Sorry. I did roll shit, but...
Third roll is
Do
a
it.
10.
Okay. That's 1.
Okay.
You need to make all the rest in order to catch them. They're getting
Yeah.
away. They're jumping over trash cans and pushing old ladies into the street to get away. What'd you get?
5.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, you chase them for a bit, but you're just not an athlete, and they're apparently in better shape than you are. You turn a corner, and you're not sure which way they went. However, you did get kind of a decent look at them. Make a perception roll, reason. Because they looked back over their shoulders several times while you were chasing them.
13.
Oh, that's excellent. That's more than what you needed. He looked like is a man, and he looked like. Let me find him. This young handsome fellow. This guy.
Ah, No idea who that is.
Oh, actually, he's the wrong guy. Sorry.
That would explain why I don't know.
No, he's somebody. He's completely different. Oh,
Straight-
this is funny. This next one is actually funnier. It's this guy. So there you go. It's that guy.
Is his name Kyle?
No, it's not. His name is Haluk, but you don't know that.
All right,
So-
I'm almost embarrassed by the fact that he shot me.
I'm just wondering, he's a total stranger. Why does he care?
I've never met men before in my life.
I'm sure you would remember if you did.
I'm sure it has to do something with why people are petrified.
Hmm.
I'm going to
Why
guess
we
the
have
death ray.
Why we have the Philadelphia experiment effect in an alleyway?
Right then. So that is Dr. Celyddon's afternoon. That's Johnny Diamond's afternoon. Leslie and Carol both wrap up their respective day jobs. And I guess you guys can all meet back at the cafe if you like.
Sounds
Certainly.
good. This is an off night for the band, I assume, right?
We're going to say it is.
Okay.
Now what?
Head back there, get together with Johnny, and tell him what I found. Oh, and somebody shot at me. They actually hit me, too.
Oh, are you okay?
Yes, of course. It was just a pistol, after all.
I only shot you
that's
once.
all.
Really, I'm almost offended by the fact that they took a shot at me. But I found a rock with a finger in it, showing the petrified rock.
Oh, lovely. Everyone, make presence rolls, and I'll tell you what you need to roll against. Ooh, I rolled
I should have
well.
gotten my dice when I was up.
Presents roll. 1 second. Oh. There we go.
2d6 plus present.
2d6 plus presence. You're basically just keeping your cool. You need to roll a 15 or more.
I did.
I roll a 15.
The padding is disintegrating on the headset. Oh
Yeesh.
well. Presents. Just straight presents?
Presence plus 2d6, unless, yeah, presence plus 2d6. Oh, if you have medical expertise,
I rolled an 11.
if you have expertise in medical, you can add a bonus die to it.
How about healing as a power?
No, it's different.
Okay.
So, meanwhile, there's a...
Oh! Box cars, which means I have a total of
Zowie.
14.
14?
Oh.
I've ever done
Ooh,
that.
wow. Still missed it then. You know, I'll give it to you. You rolled double 12. You rolled a 12. I'll give it to you. You.
Actually, that'd be 16 total. I just realized that
Oh,
I'm adding.
well, there you go. Then you're
Yeah.
fine. Okay, yeah. There's a jazz trio playing up on the stage tonight.
Okay. So what's the problem with the rock and the finger?
There's a finger sticking out of a rock.
Oh, who
Yeah,
did not
that-
get 15? Anybody?
Yeah, I rolled an 11.
Carol starts and stands up and goes, ah, or whatever you want to do. You describe it. What does Carol do?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was pretty much my reaction when I saw it.
Now, I lean over toward Carol, but speak to Doc Celyddon. Now, Doc, could you tell me why there's a finger in that rock?
Looks like somebody teleported badly.
From what I can gather, the area suffered from a very, very chaotic interdimensional cross incursion. A whole bunch of places all tried to occupy the same space at the same time.
Have you fingerprinted it yet?
No, I just picked him up.
Well, we probably shouldn't do that on one of the dining tables.
Probably not.
Anyway, I'll wrap the finger back up.
Okay. Ah. Oh, actually, now that you're in the light of, well, not day exactly, but when you're in your comfort zone and surrounded by friends, something becomes immediately, particularly when you're like all standing there looking at it, something immediately becomes obvious. The finger, it's not pasty white. It's not pink. It's brown. It is a brown finger.
Oh, okay.
Like an Algerian finger. Or a Moorish finger.
Hard to say. Could be Italian.
Oh, okay.
Turkish, yeah. Possibly southern Mediterranean, North African.
Yeah, true.
I'm no expert. Young, old?
You got medical?
I have science. But no medical.
I think this is more medical.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you actually have a background in biology or something.
No. As a matter of fact, my science is more along the lines of like physics and mathematics and
Okay.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, so it's not obviously young or obviously old. Then.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, wrap it back up. I don't want to thoroughly gross.
All right, you put it away. Don't want to freak the normals. So, yeah, Friday night. Now what?
Johnny, do you happen to know where the Egyptian lived?
Oh my goodness, I think I may have Brandon. Did I find that out as part of the earlier when we were looking around at him?
He's pretty
Did
private.
I remember a thing about the palm trees and we kind of narrowed down which mansion that was.
Yeah, he had like a seaside resort. Isn't it?
That's okay. That's actually right. I don't think you've actually been there,
But I know where it is.
but you.
The only one who was Father Leal. Yeah.
Yeah, Leal went there. He was there, but I think Johnny Diamond narrowed down like where it needed to be for
Okay.
it to match what Father Leal described.
Okay, so when Doc Celyddon asks, Johnny goes, "Oh, the Egyptian." Yes, I think so, and goes to his files and finds it and reads off the address.
Well, not the address so much, but a description of the area.
Yeah, the road, the little whatever I've got. It was enough to get Father Leal there.
Okay, well, I suspect you may want a progress report.
He actually gave you a way to contact him if you needed to.
Oh, he did. Okay, good.
He showed you a cartouche, and he didn't like give it to you, but he showed it to you, and he said if you
That's
draw
right.
that, he'll know that you want to get in touch with him.
Okay. Johnny, do you by any chance have a private room that I could borrow for a few minutes?
Oh, certainly. Come on into the back with me.
I'll be right back.
And if Carol would like, if the others would like to join, they will as well. One of the things he's going to do while Doc Celyddon's doing that is go ahead and take some fingerprints from the finger.
I'll go back.
Oh,
Need the
here's
finger.
something fun that no one has actually found this out yet, but Johnny Diamond finds out the finger is warm. It is body temperature.
Wow.
Hmm.
Kind of weird.
But
That's
it
kind of-
flexes like a regular finger, and
What? There's only so much you can flex because it's coming out of a rock. But
right. But it's got flexation in it.
Yeah. Actually, it's kind of like moist, clammy even, but it's warm. It's body temperature.
I've got an interesting idea of finding out who this belongs to.
Well, I'll need it back for a few minutes, and then after that, we can play with it as much as you want.
If we hit it with a hammer, someone is sure to yell.
That
Like-
makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Or prick it with a pin. Hurt it without damaging it.
Now, assuming this person is in this dimension.
Before Johnny starts playing with it, I'll take the finger into the other room and draw the cartoon.
Okay.
But yeah, we at least get a fingerprint off of it, so Carol can maybe track down a fingerprint or something.
Yeah.
And then Johnny's going to borrow it, and for the rest of the night hand it to people saying, I'm giving you the finger.
What? How do you draw the cartouche? What do you draw it on, and with what?
Oh, just in my notebook, I'll take out a fountain pen, and draw it in the notebook.
Okay. Let me see how much time goes by. Just because he knows doesn't mean he knows right then, or that he really cares.
Yeah.
So, let's see. That's nothing immediately happens.
Okay. He knows that I want to talk to him. That's all I needed. I was setting the going to the private room just in case he suddenly appeared in a cloud of smoke or something like that. I didn't want it happening in the middle of the bar.
That would be disturbing.
That would be a little indiscreet, yes.
Oh, look, a Florship.
A little bit. Yeah. Nothing appears to happen. You wait
Okay.
15 minutes. Nothing happens.
Yeah, I'll give it about 15 minutes, and then if he doesn't appear, then I will gather up my stuff and head back out. It's like, well,
Okay.
he's been informed. Any luck on the fingerprints?
Well, he took a fingerprint, but I mean,
Oh,
that's
You're going to have to go leave
I
and
forgot we're back to the
look. No computer here. It's wrong era.
Oh my god, this is gonna take days.
I'll get it for you
or
tomorrow.
weeks even.
That's the fastest.
You do realize that somebody somewhere is gonna have to open up like a card catalog cabinet with thousands of index cards on them. Each one of which has a set of fingerprints on it. And they're going to have
Right,
to
but
compare them.
No, but there are what, 3 basic types of fingerprints. Of those, each of those has between 2 and 4 basic subcategories. I mean, it's really easy to narrow it down to like 100, 150.
You might think
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, 100 or 150. Wow.
I mean, well, out of thousands, out of tens of thousands, it narrows down really quickly.
Yeah, but
I
still,
actually took a class in reading fingerprints way before computers, and there was a whole like flow chart of how you find out which box of fingerprints has all the fingerprints that look like your fingerprints.
But it won't be happening today.
Right.
So,
We're not going to do that here.
um,
It's
So-
not happening on a Friday night now.
no. So now what? What do you got?
That's it for me so far. At this point, I am open to suggestions.
I seriously doubt whoever's finger that is going to be hanging out in the bar, so damaging the finger just to hear them scream is probably not a
I
really...
seriously doubt that finger is even in this dimension.
Yeah, I don't think the rest of him is here. It looked like it probably organic items, and there was a very heavily damaged tree nearby also.
I find a feather and tickle it.
Then some heathen took a shot at me.
Nobody seems to care that Dr. Celyddon got shot.
I'm just.
He's like, "And somebody
screwing
shot
with the
me."
finger.
Actually, he keeps saying they shot at you. You didn't actually
Yeah.
say they shot you?
Well,
I mean,
he
maybe-
told me that they shot him, and then he goes, "But it was only a pistol." And so Johnny's like, "Oh, well, fine then."
Well, clearly he's still here.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Not at the hospital, not requiring medical assistant, not bleeding on my floor. Therefore, everything's fine. Doesn't need a first aid kit. Okay, so now I know that Doc Celyddon can take a pistol shot and just shrug it off.
You seem so uncivilized. That's all.
Okay. Perhaps it would be useful to review your clues. Otherwise, I'm going to have to tell you something.
Well, let's see. The object in question, which everybody seems to think is a death ray, but isn't, was stolen from the Navy. There was an inside man who was apparently working for the Milio. He is dead. The item in question was supposed to be handed off to the Milio in that alleyway, and something went terribly, terribly wrong there. There were a number of bodies, but even the necromancer couldn't buy them because apparently there was something hideously wrong with them.
Ooh.
And we have two major players in the Milio who want to retrieve the object. Am I missing anything?
No, it's probably
One of those players is doing it for money. The other one seems to want the object itself.
Yeah. And it may very well be that Bernadette is working for the Egyptian. He
Possibly.
may very well have hired her to get it back. She was not very forthcoming as to who hired her.
Well, to get it, not get it back.
Is there a possibility that since you said this place was chaos of every dimension, that that there was nobody that actually took it, but that something happened magically and it may not even be in this dimension anymore?
That was my first hypothesis. Once I figured that out, is it may very well be that this object is just gone somewhere else. But I'm not going to start tracking it down without a lot of information.
And the weirdness, I said the weirdness that the coroner probably was talking about was probably similar to the finger.
Exactly, in the tree.
Yeah.
If this thing ended up in someplace like Ferry, then yeah, I'm not going out.
Yeah, really.
Well, does the rock seem to have any feel of Ferry around it?
No.
Okay. Well, this
It's a rock.
definitely isn't from Ferry.
like Leslie leans over and goes, nah.
Well, that's one less thing to deal with. Well,
Does Donald tell everybody that the finger's warm?
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's trying to hit it with a hammer earlier.
and then he's tickling it with a feather. Obviously, he's trying to do something.
It does not react to tickling with the feather. It does not react at all. It is
Just a warm finger.
It's a warm
Maybe
finger.
that's also what was wrong with the bodies.
Warm finger. Yeah, maybe the bodies in the morgue were still warm.
That would have freaked out.
Obviously bodies, but still warm. So I think we need to... Do I know anyone in the coroner's office that I could use to get some info
cop
going on?
You're on.
I mean, as far as like connected minions, etc.
No, probably the closest you have is this fella, Detective Seagull, who comes by from time to time.
Right.
And that's not since that's not in anywhere near my department. I have access to anything.
Well, it's a local police department, so you're not really in the same circle.
Yeah.
Except now we have knowledge that a magical device that her department would be interested in was involved.
Do you want her department involved? Because if they get involved, that opens up another can of worms. I mean, you can do that.
Yeah, true.
Big
No.
can of worms. There's me, and then there's my department. Very, very different.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you could get access to it without officially starting an investigation.
It's not really your bag, Carol.
No.
No, bluffing is my part.
Yeah.
But you do have a contact in the police department, a detective.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just last time I talked to him, he locked me up.
Oh, you know that wasn't.
Are you holding a grudge?
It's not anything he could do about
I'm
that.
afraid he might be.
No. When you got out, he came by and he made a point of buying his own drink that time
Oh, okay.
as a gesture of apology. Because he knew you had nothing to do with it, but these things, they were out of his hands.
Okay, I suppose we should give him a call.
All right.
Can't.
Well, he's not in his office at the moment, but you leave a message. And,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, hour and a half later, he shows up at the club and comes in, says hi to Arlene. She says hi back. And Arlene says something like, "Oh, health code violations?" He's like, No, of course not. I would never think such a thing of such a fine establishment. However, there was a rumor that you were selling lower quality cognac as Belgian cognac. And she's like, "Oh, never." He's like, "Well, those are the rumors." She's like, "No, I will prove to you it's not true." And she goes and she gets him a cognac. And he tries it. He's like, "Oh, you... Of course, I should have known my fears were unfounded. Thank you."
So that's how the bribery happens in the establishment like this.
Yes.
Okay.
Personally, I think I would enjoy it. Yeah.
Anyway, and he sits at the bar looking at the band. Or listening to the band. I guess listening is the important part.
They're not as good as our band is.
No, of course not.
Okay, I will stroll on over and have a seat beside him.
He's like, "Oh, they're quite good. Not quite as good as that other band, the one with the violinist, but quite good. The brandy is also quite good. I'm sorry, the cognac is also quite good."
Well, thank you. We do strive to supply only the best here.
Clearly. Was there something you wanted to talk about? Little Bird told me you might have a topic of
Yes.
interest I might find interesting.
I have a favor to ask. You
Really?
know how I am sometimes called upon to investigate things that are related to your office's investigations, but outside.
Well, you know how it is. The police department, we have so much crime, so many terrible things we must investigate, and there's only so many hours in the day, so many people on the force. We really are terribly underfunded.
I name the alley.
Okay, he gets to make a presence roll to see if he totally keeps his cool. He like raises an eyebrow at you and he says, "I'm certain I know nothing of it. What about it?"
Oh, I was, there was just a rumor, you understand, but there was a rumor that there was something highly unusual found in the coroner's office.
Oh, you would mean the bodies.
Yes.
Well, you might think that, but I couldn't possibly comment.
Which
wanna
is
see them?
exactly why I need your help, Inspector.
I don't think I could possibly help in such a terribly delicate situation as that. For example,
Oh,
I happen
no,
to
of
know
course.
that literally 20 hours of the day, those bodies are under constant guard. In fact, if you would have to go while the guards were at lunch, say between 2 and 3 in the morning, to even get a glimpse. And
I like this guy.
then you would have to bribe the
Coroner.
medical examiner on duty. I think it would take at least 10, 15 francs.
Or some of this cognac.
Oh, yes, yes. I see.
So you can
Arlene,
see there's
another-
no possible way I can help you. It's simply impossible.
Yes, I see. I thank you for your candor, and perhaps next time you will be more helpful. Arlene, another cognac for the inspector.
No. I couldn't. But perhaps a brandy. All right, thank you.
Yes. Nod to Arlene.
Yeah, he hangs out for like an hour or so, watches the band play. When they take a break, he tips his hat to Arlene and heads out.
Okay. I fill the others in on the plan to get in between 1 and 2 a.m. by bribing the medical examiner.
Well, here I thought it was going to be a dull evening. Okay. I suppose just this month, once I can stay up past my bedtime. Though it occurs to me, somebody rescued me out of bed awfully early this morning.
Gracious, who could that have been?
I don't remember. But okay, get ready to go and crash the morgue.
Really.
Okay.
Fun.
The cafe is still going, but Arlene has a handle on it. You guys can take off. And you head over to the first district where the coroner's office is. And I guess just wait for the guards to leave and go on lunch break, which they do.
Mm-hmm.
And go in. It's actually very easy. You don't even really need to sneak because there's nobody there. And you get into the coroner's office, and it is governed over by a fellow who looks like this.
Oh,
Okay.
How unfortunate.
And
for him.
you guys, he's as God made him, sir. Anyway, so you guys,
Yes. Well, we all make mistakes.
you guys walk in,
Ouch.
and he's eating a sandwich and at a desk, and he stands up. He goes, "Here, you can't come in here. This is a restricted area. Do you have permission to be here?"
Hand him a 25 note and say, this should cover the paperwork.
Yes, of course. I've clearly a mistake, and I didn't recognize you, Dr. Thompson. And please, I assume you're here to see.
The bodies that were recovered from and give the address.
He visibly pales. No, 20 francs will do it. All right, then. So
I
Are
do
you
like
sh-
a man who's easily bribed.
you may regret it. All right, follow me. He goes down past a whole bunch of carts that have bodies with sheets over them. So they're not just all exposed, they're sheets, but there's, it's like dozens of them. It's like really cold in here, in this room that he takes you into. And then into another room that has like a great big silver refrigerator door on the front. And it's several degrees colder in here, not quite freezing, but very, very close. And in here, there are several large, they're not carts, they're like stainless steel tables, essentially. And there are sheets over those. Big, lumpy mounds are under the sheets.
Not
And he's
human covered.
Not human shape, no.
Okay.
And he says, those two, I think are what you're asking about.
Okay.
Are you sure you want to see this? Because this is not normal.
It is why I'm here.
Okay. Okay, don't leave any marks. Don't cut anything off. Don't have sex with them. He shudders and walks out the room and closes the door. Come on.
Ew.
Take a look.
What you have is what looks like the result of several human bodies intersecting oddly. One body has like 5 legs and 3 arms and 2 heads. The other one has 3 heads, 4 arms, and 6 legs. And one is like 2 pasty Europeans and a brown skin man.
Where the finger came from, probably.
Well, the single arm coming out of one of the chests is brown, but it has all of its fingers.
Okay.
Don't know where the other arm is.
Anything here smell of fairy?
No.
Yeah.
No, but they are warm. Yes.
They are warm.
They are warm. They are also
Does
very
anything
much
here
dead.
Yeah, does anything here smell of fairy?
No.
Okay.
Then cast another scry spell on it and see what I can see.
One more thing. You can tell that they have been autopsied. Because there are various cuts in various places on the bodies that have been since stitched
Sewn
up.
up with really thick black thread, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, everybody make presence rolls, and I'll tell you what you got to roll against. This is pretty creepy, so I'm going to say it's high. I'm going to say it's almost impossible. There we go.
Okay.
I rolled a 12.
I rolled impossible.
You need 17 or higher.
Oh, that's not happening.
I got boxcars and I have a 6 presence. So yeah, 8.
Wow.
I got a 14.
I only got 12.
Johnny Diamond looks at it, takes it in stride.
Totally cool.
Everybody
It would be
else,
Johnny Diamond if he didn't.
you can lose your cool in whatever way makes sense to you.
I think I lost mine sufficiently when he said don't have sex with them. I just went like, ew.
My first comment when I see them is, how was one supposed to have sex?
See, that's what I figured Johnny Diamond would comment after everybody else loses their stuff.
I think I start laughing at those guys. Giggling uncontrollably.
All right. When you recover your various composures, yeah, there you go. You've got 2 large misshapen masses that used to be anywhere from 5 to 7 people. Hard to say because not all the limbs quite match. So,
is there any way that some of this mess could be some of Miss Blanchard's people?
Oh, almost certainly.
Yeah. I'm guessing that nothing. I'm guessing the piece that she's looking for is not in this dimension anymore.
Oh, it could still be, just not necessarily.
Somewhere else. Yeah.
Has anyone ever thought that maybe this is what a death ray does?
I doubt it.
Well, this is probably why they call it a death ray.
I always thought of a death ray as something that made people disintegrate.
Well,
Not like those silly cartoons.
bodies is
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, Leslie, but I think these people are dead.
Yeah,
Warm
but
and
they're not
misshapen as they
disintegrated.
are. Wait, they're
But they're
still
not
warm.
disintegrated.
That's why he didn't want us to have sex with them. They're still warm. It all makes sense now.
Johnny, that's like... never mind. I don't even think the fairy would consider having sex. No. Ugh.
Well, certainly
And the
not
fairy will
summer
do some
court.
weird things.
Yeah, I know, but Johnny was the only one not to lose his cool, so he had to make some kind of comment about it.
Okay.
Just to re-weird out everybody.
Doc Celyddon was going to do some magic
Scry.
what's-its on it. What was he going to do?
So I was going to try scrying and see if I could get any more information off of these bodies that I got off of the finger.
Like what? What are you looking for?
What caused it? Is there a certain noticeable aura around these bodies that whatever the effect caused or whatever the effect created? Stuff like that.
Roll some dice. And I'll roll some dice, and I'll tell you what you get. Ooh, I rolled really, really low, so you're going to get a lot, unless you roll horribly.
22.
You roll more than you need. Yes, this is the result. Now that you have lots of stuff to examine in a literally laboratory setting. So, yeah, they were exposed to something which opens is not quite the right word. Superimposes is a better word. Superimposes other layers of reality onto ours and allows them to be visible and contactable simultaneously with ours. Now you know, because you're a professional, that's stupid. That's a really stupid idea. But
Extremely dangerous, yes.
apparently, that is what they were exposed to, and this is a side effect of that. Probably not intentional. It's whatever it is probably not working the way it was intended to work. You don't know why, without actually examining whatever it is, and it seems to be, yeah. There's that. Oh, and the pieces here do still radiate with, for lack of a better word, the frequency of the other reality that they were superimposed with. In the process of that experience, they also got superimposed with each other.
Right.
Yeah. Again, probably not the intended result of the device. But who knows? Maybe it was. Hard to say.
You said that there were 4 covered forms in here? And
No. There's just 2.
Oh, there's 2. Okay.
There's several of those big tables, but these are the 2 that have the big objects on them. The bodies.
Multiple.
Well, I've seen enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, this is something I don't know if you will immediately think of this as important. But at some point, somebody, and it doesn't matter who, somebody will mention it and everybody else will go, yeah, that is weird. They're all nude.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they were wearing clothes when this happened, well, you would think that the sleeve would go into the chest along with the arm, right? But no, they're all nude, and you don't see any, other than the autopsy marks, there's no cuts, no bruises, no scratches, no bullet holes, nothing like that.
So the
No
question begs to be asked,
fabric
where the clothes went.
poking out, cut, nothing like that.
Yeah, one begs to wonder where the clothes went.
Any fingers, I'll take fingerprints off of.
Ew.
Just, I understand this is all part of the
So
IDing process. The cops
you knew
are
you
probably
were-
doing it too, but
You knew you were coming to a morgue, so I guess it stands to reason you brought your fingerprint kit with you. So, yeah, Johnny, who kept his cool while everybody else is trying to not to throw up, he breaks out his medical bag and takes out his fingerprint kit and lays it all out very neatly and starts taking fingerprints from this arm and then from that arm and then from this arm. Yeah.
So when Doc Celyddon says he's got what he wants, Johnny's packing up the fingerprint, going, "I think I've done all I can."
Okay.
Then let's get out of here and go drink all the alcohol that we can find.
Unless any of you recognize these fellows.
Nope.
Think
No.
Brandon would have mentioned that.
I pry open an eyelid.
Actually,
This one has green eyes.
anybody here who has previous experience with street-level Pied Noir gangsters, Make a reason perception roll to see if you remember seeing any of these guys before.
2d6 plus perception, 15.
The 2d6 plus reason.
I rolled crappy.
Yeah.
12.
2d6 plus reason, 15.
Doc Celyddon doesn't actually want to look at their faces, but to the extent you do, they don't look familiar. Johnny Diamond, who gets up and personal with them, he's like, wait a minute, I recognize this guy. He came by, let's see, this is August, June, mid-June.
No, it was, okay, when we started this adventure, it was snowing. I don't think it's August.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting the snow. I thought that'd be cool. Have there to make this crunch of snow, but it would have made the investigation in the alleyway more difficult. Because you're looking for clues.
Well, the snow melted
maybe that's
by
why
then.
Doc Celyddon didn't find clues. Yes, there was snow. It was covered with snow, and he saw all the footprints in the snow, and he magically saw the rock. And then the tree is like sitting above the snow, so that's why he noticed the tree. It could be if somebody more detective-y went and looked at the alleyway, they might find more, but that's why Doc Celyddon found what he found. That makes sense, yes. So it's freezing cold, it's snowing, it's January, back in September.
And the bodies are still warm.
The bodies are still warm. Back in September, this guy right here, he came by and demanded protection money for Pied Noir from the cafe. And after keeping him cooling his heels for an hour or so, you paid him, and he went away, and you haven't seen him since. But that's that guy. You'd know that mug anywhere.
I would imagine this is one of Mademoiselle Blanchard's men. I do recognize him.
Well, how unfortunate for him.
Yes. Ooh, I will take a photograph.
Nifty spy camera?
Yeah, with my
with your spy camera. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like the size of a pack of cigarettes.
Next time Bernadette comes around, I'm gonna have some prints waiting for her
Oh, lovely.
as to exactly what happened to her. Let's see her keep her cool.
She probably will.
You never know. All right. So,
Even if she does, just the look in her eyes ought to be good enough for that.
Are you done in this room?
Yes.
Okay.
More than.
Outside, this fella greets you.
Yep.
He says, all done?
Yes.
Yes, I found the fellow I was looking for.
Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, then. He looks at his watch. Well, time to go. Get out.
Okay.
Anybody here have medical?
Nope.
No.
Nobody? It's a skill, right? Did I leave it off? I don't.
I can heal, but that's magical.
Skills.
Not really something.
Medicine. Nobody has medicine. Wow. All right.
Not something.
No, I always suspected Doc Celyddon did, but I guess I'm wrong.
He's not that kind of doctor.
Not medicine.
I think Tony was going to, but
Ah.
Hmm.
All right. Well, in which case, the medical examiner is chatty, and he'll just volunteer some information like, yeah, and if you think they look strange on the outside, the inside, oh.
Like what?
Okay.
sure.
Are their organs as intertwined as the rest of them?
And they look like they've been cooked. Like, not quite to bursting, but like till they get that kind of sheen, like shininess to them. And the brains, that's the weirdest part. Brains have been replaced with this like kind of pink gelatinous substance, and it's still warm. They're all still warm. They're still warm right now. If you, I mean,
That is
assuming you didn't
weird.
touch them, right? But if you did, they're still warm. A little bit warmer than you and I.
How disturbing.
Yeah.
Pink gelatinous substance.
Want to see it? he goes over to a sheet metal door about yay big, and opens it up and pulls out a rack, and on the rack are jars that are all individually very carefully labeled with little handwritten labels. And he takes one and he holds it up, and it's like slightly larger than a mason jar, and it's about a third full of what looks like glowing pink liquid.
Glowing pink liquid.
Now that's weird.
course,
Is
warm.
there any resemblance to a brain?
Spilled right out when I cut their heads open. First one went everywhere. Of course, the second and third and fourth and fifth one, I had a bucket underneath. So
Good.
Wow.
Have you
This is the
analyzed
second
its
one.
composition?
Well, it's not brain tissue. Not sure what it is.
Is it magic?
How would I know that? Well, it's
Yeah,
glowing.
really. I mean, yeah, I'll check and see if it's magical.
Make a divination roll.
Johnny Diamond's question was not necessarily directed at the person he asked it to.
Let's see. Thaumaturgy, reason plus power.
20.
And
Sorry, 21.
we will. Good heavens, man. You needed a 15, and you got it. Yeah, it is not magic, but it's not native to this reality.
Okay. Somewhere in a plane of pink jello, there are half a dozen brains sitting around trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
And they're still warm.
Yeah. Here's a
Yeah,
Gillette.
no, it's the opposite. They're frozen. They're cold. All the
Hey.
energy's being been transferred to here.
Yeah, she's right.
Hey,
Gillette,
Yep.
this medical examiner, showing them off to his friend.
for he looks at the clock to make sure he's still got time. He's like, yeah. For another 30 francs, I'll give you a little bit in a little bottle. You can take it with you.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
He goes over to a counter.
I'll do 30 francs for that just so I can add it to the photo and see if I can get Bernadette to squick out.
Yark.
He gets a little baby jar, sized jar about yay big, and he takes it's like a teaspoon with like a really long handle, and takes about a teaspoon of the stuff and bloop, puts it into the jar, seals it
Yeah.
up.
It does occur to me that if this is interdimensional, then there's a likelihood that there's somewhere else where there's a conglomeration of bodies that are like this. Somewhere else. Yeah.
Here you go.
Great, thank you.
He puts his big jar back in the drawer and closes it. Okay, no. Running out of time. Gotta go.
Right
Head
on.
out.
Yeah. Probably a good idea.
Nice meeting you. He winks at the young woman. Because
Thank
that's
you.
what all young women want, is for the creepy old coroner to wink at them.
Yeah. After
You're right.
handing out glowing goo.
Yup.
Creepy old third shift going.
So you know he's way down the totem pole of the creepy old corners. There you go. All right then, you hustle on out, and you leave a good 10-15 minutes before the other guys come back from lunch, so you're fine. Okay, it's now around 3 in the morning on a Saturday. What do you do?
Go home and enjoy my nightmares. Thank you.
Oh, great.
Okay, let's see. So you part your separate ways?
It's 3 o'clock in the morning. What do we
Yeah.
expect to get done?
That would be a yes.
Well, Johnny Diamond, as he's going home, you don't have any like danger sense gift or anything, do you, Johnny Diamond?
No. The best I've got is my minions and my tenaciousness.
Okay.
I've got good perception.
Well, this would be a surprise. Is kind of the point. Um,
Uh,
okay. You are surprised by well, actually, you can make a perception to see if you are surprised. How's that? So, we'll give that a
10.
you got a 10.
Yes.
Let's see what I got. 18 on that. That's 79. Oh shit! Exactly 10. So yeah, just the hairs. You're going back to the cafe. You're going to go in. It has since closed up, and the last of the staff is leaving for the evening. Arlene, who is the last person to leave, she's like locking the door as you walk up. She's stayed till like two other people were done sweeping, and those three are leaving at the same time. She's locking the door. You're walking up, and then like the hairs in the back of your neck stick up. It's like, so you do get your agility versus this. So you need 2d6 plus your agility to avoid being shot with a sniper rifle.
Okay.
Somebody's going around trying to shoot people. Like looks like.
Okay, I rolled a 5 and a 3 on my dice. I am tenacious, which means my defense value is 6 rather than the 4 of my agility.
Okay. Oh, and you get whatever defensive equipment you've got.
So 14, and I'm wearing a rating 1 bulletproof coat.
I think he's going to determine whether he hits you or not first, dude.
No. Well, the
Oh.
defensive gear adds to your roll, and that gives you a total of what?
Yeah.
15.
15.
Okay, I got a 18. I rolled really well, and I've got a big ass sniper rifle. So 15. So you said total of 15, right?
Yeah.
16, 17, 18. So that's 2. You lose, much like Doc Celyddon, 2 health to a sniper rifle between the shoulder blades. Blam! How much total health do you have?
Where is that?
Endurance.
Oh, sorry, endurance. I keep
endurance?
saying health, I mean
6.
endurance, yeah.
6.
Okay, so you're not dead. You're not even
I'm down
crippled.
to 4.
However, it did break the skin and put a hot hole in your bulletproof vest. So
Yeah.
there's like a bullet just underneath the skin in the middle of your back and knocks you off your feet. Arlene and the other 2 staff scream. Let's see, how useful are they? All 3 of them, to their later shame, scream and run away, leaving you on the sidewalk. That's,
Great.
That's not good. Yeah.
You're not paying them for their loyalty, are you?
Well, somebody's shooting at them. And they did just get basically intimidated by thugs earlier that day. So, yeah. Anyway, so Johnny Diamond, face first on the concrete, but not unconscious or anything. So what's your deal? What's up? What are you doing?
Get the cover.
Yeah, is there any chance I can like squirm or roll my way to, like behind a locked door or something, or at
behind
least
a
out
parked
of
car?
the line of fire? Least out of the line of fire of whoever just shot me?
Sure. Parked car, right behind it.
Okay. I fall and I will bounce over to behind the parked car. I don't want to give it away that they didn't kill me right away.
Make a deception roll. See if you can fool them into thinking that you're not really dead.
Okay.
And they're doing their reason against you.
Ooh! Another boxcars, 18.
Damn. All right. There's not immediately another follow-up shot.
Okay, I'm trying to sneak through the shadows to, get around to the back way in or whatever.
There's a deathly quiet because the snow's, blanketing everything and it kind of absorbs the sound. And you want to crawl where?
I want to, if I can use the shadows to get around into the alley so I can get in the back door or whatever.
You crawl toward the alley. You make I gotta look it up. Is it stealth?
Yeah, I'll go with stealth.
Let's see. I think it's stealth. Yeah, stealth. Agility, stealth roll. Versus
12.
my perception roll to see you. You roll a total of 12? I do not see you. You crawl around the corner from where you think the shot came from,
Yeah.
and there is now a building between you and where you think the shot came from.
Okay, I am getting inside the club and locking the door behind me.
You do that.
I call up Doc Celyddon.
If I can make a suggestion,
Yeah.
because this game has been very heavy on
Ambulance?
Johnny Diamond and Doc Celyddon. Leslie hasn't really had a whole lot to
Oh,
do
Leslie?
yet. But
and Leslie has healing abilities.
Leslie's character has healing, or Leslie
Right.
has healing abilities, and Leslie's flat is closer than Doc Celyddon. I mean, you can call them both. I'm just thinking.
No,
I'm thinking
I will
Leslie
call
might be your
that's
first call.
right. I will call Leslie.
Yay! Leslie, in your flat somewhere that you may or may not share with other fairies, you are probably still up, drinking absinthe, and the phone rings. I'm not going to do it because
No,
it's
I'm still
obnoxious,
up,
but
I
it's a
don't think I
loud,
sleep that. I don't know if fairies sleep that much.
it's a loud clanging ring from the telephone, and the other fairies you share your flat with all complain because they think it's horrible, and they don't know why you bother having one of these horrible things.
I'm into mortal stuff. It's kind of fun.
They'll roll
For
their
now.
eyes. Oh,
For now.
this again. This again. Oh,
I'll go answer it.
Sun and moon.
Yeah, what's up?
Leslie, it's Johnny Diamond.
That doesn't sound good already.
No, I think I need a bit of help at the club, but do be careful. The sniper is still out there.
Say what? Okay, I know how I'm getting there.
How are you getting there?
Well, shape change, snow rabbit. Hop, 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 hop,
Boing,
hop.
boing, boing, boing.
Well, I'm going to get a little closer to his place before I change, but
That's,
we're
rabbits are
gonna
fast.
blend with the snow. We're going to blend with the
Okay.
snow.
When you get there, make a perception roll. Reason perception roll. Versus, let's see, is my agility?
Just for amusement value, Leslie, when you said shape change and snow, the first thing I thought of was polar bear.
Well, that is too large.
Form of
Little
an
too
icicle.
And
Yeah,
I
no,
am going to go around.
I had the imagine of Leslie as Frosty the Snowman.
Oh, okay.
Not.
Happy
And I'm going to
birthday!
go around the back. Going around the back.
Snowcat, for crying out loud. At least have some teeth.
They're big.
Make
I want something small.
a perception
As
reason
small as possible.
roll. Tell me what you get. You gotta
you said
beat
reason.
13.
I don't have perception as a skill, so I guess it's straight reason. Huh?
If you don't have perception as a skill, it's just your 2d6, and you don't add your reason.
Don't add my reason. Okay, that's not good.
Although, wait, let me think. Rabbits really depend on being able to see predators and run away. So I'm going to say, as a rabbit, you got perception. You might not have some of
Okay.
your other skills, like you can't do hand-to-hand combat as a rabbit.
No, I
Because
don't.
you'll suck, because you're a rabbit.
Okay, then my total will be 13.
You needed a, what'd I say, 13?
I
Yes,
have
you
no
needed a
idea.
13. So, yeah. Okay, as you hop to the building and you start hopping down the alleyway, you see...
I think she does have hand-to-hand skills. Haven't you ever heard of rabbit punching?
Hilarious.
20 kicks.
Hilarious. Okay, you do have hand-to-hand skills as a rabbit, but they are only usable against other rabbits.
I'm just interested in getting into the club without getting shot.
Well, as you hop down the
house,
hall...
attacked by a duck-sized Leslie, by 10 duck-sized Leslies, or one Leslie-sized duck.
As you hop down the alley, you see someone very carefully and slowly walking around the front of the building, making a point of staying like in shadows behind cars, and they're basically casing the joint, looking around. They seem to be looking for something.
Let's see what
Yeah.
kind of skills I might have. Just one. There's nobody else.
With that roll, you saw one person.
Okay.
Oh, and they have a gun that's 5 feet long
Ouch.
with a
But is it
long
holstered? Now,
barrel.
here's a good question. Is it holstered? Or, I mean, held up so it's not being,
They're
not being-
holding it up. It's a sniper rifle. I mean, it's not like you can just walk around and shoot people with it.
He's not prepared to shoot with it, is what I'm saying.
At the moment, they seem to be focused on the ground. They're looking for
and
something.
certainly not anyone within, 30, 40 yards.
All right.
You never know. He may be hunting weapons.
Now,
Waxly
you're
weapons.
right. Does he look like Elmer Fudd?
Actually, with you made the roll exactly, so you don't have a clear view of the person because they are trying not.
This is the role player asking, joking.
Well, I'll tell you anyway, because this is what you see.
I know.
You just barely saw them sneaking around in the shadows.
Okay.
What you can make out is that and also you're a rabbit, so your perception's a little skewed. But you're pretty sure they're short, and they're wearing dark clothing.
Dark clothing. I got to figure out how to get into the club, because I don't know if I want to tackle this guy.
Oh, they're
alone.
out front. They're out front.
Out front. Okay, I'm gonna then continue.
Yeah,
my
they're
way
out
in the
front.
back.
You can do the back door.
Yeah.
Now, how do I let him know, since we don't have cell phones, that I'm out in the back door?
Well, you could turn back into yourself and knock.
Yeah, we'll do it
Or you
quietly.
can, put up a foot and you knock with your rabbit foot.
We'll change back and knock quietly and quickly.
Use the rabbit foot. You might get lucky.
Yeah. I hope he's standing at the door ready.
There's a knock at the door.
I will open the door.
Oh, I was hoping you'd go with, I fire at the door. Blam, 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 blam.
Well,
No, I do have my pistol out, but I open the door.
I'm getting in quickly and closing the door. He's wandering around your house. I mean, your restaurant. And I lock the door.
In the restaurant?
No, he's wandering around outside. That's why I got in quickly, shut the door, and locked it.
I hate to have called you out on a night like this, but I have this terrible itch between my shoulder blades. Could you take a look at it?
I'll take care of it. And then we
So-
better take care of your friend outside.
Johnny Diamond strips off his shirt and whatever, and yeah, he's got a bullet hole in the
Ouch.
back of his.
Ouch. Well,
Did
you
it-
said the bullet didn't quite penetrate, so we can really.
No, it
carefully-
broke the skin.
no.
The bullet is like in his shoulder muscle.
Yeah, it
Okay.
got stopped by the shoulder blade or something.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to do it the hard way, since I'm not a doctor. I can only heal you, and you don't want to be with the bullet inside your body, I'm sure. So we got to pop it out.
You get some pliers. Pull the
No,
bullet
I'm
out.
not pliers, but I'm going to say I suggest you get something to drink.
Oh, if only we were in a bar or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Johnny Diamond slugs back a few shots of drink of choice.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Leslie
and
pries out the bullet with a knife, I guess.
Yep,
Strap a leather
probably,
band
yeah.
in the teeth.
Because I am going to heal him, so using a knife won't, it's going to do damage, but the damage is going to be healed. So,
Gotcha.
So what do you roll on this? Having never used this yet, it's a supernatural trait. So
Yeah. I had a thing for this. Bum, 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 bum. You recover half of the endurance you've lost, rounded down, in like a minute, and you can recover the rest in about an hour. So that's how
Okay.
that
So
works.
So as a trait, I don't have to roll anything.
No.
It's just something I can do.
It's
okay.
something you do.
Okay, so by morning I'll be fine.
Yeah,
Now we
right
need to
now,
deal with your.
because it's not an instantaneous thing. It's more of like a kicking a ball down the hill kind of a thing. Right off the bat, within a minute, the skin heals up and you no longer have an open wound. And although it's still very, very sore, and then by an hour from now you'll be fine.
Okay.
So now we have to deal with your friend outside.
Yes.
He's still there.
Have you
What?
any suggestions on that? I didn't come away so well the last time.
Yeah. Well, we do have the bullet. I wonder. Does that constitute as a possession of a former possession of this guy's?
Bullets aren't very personal.
Not very personal.
Well,
Darn.
not until they hit
well,
you.
Yeah, unless they got your name on them.
True. Oh well.
The monogrammed ones are really personal.
Well, we can take pot shots from the windows if you want. Either that, or we just better be ready for him to break down a door somewhere, or just sit while he finishes casing the joint.
I
Up
would
to you.
really prefer to know who sent him more than anything else.
Yeah, that okay. Then we need to capture him and
He
something.
doesn't worry me so much as who sent him.
All right, Brendan.
Yeah.
Question. I am a magical creature that has some supernatural traits, but apparently no magic other than the shape-shifting. What am I capable of doing as a fairy?
Wait, let me see. Because I actually have your character sheet right here, because I wrote it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is it?
I only have basics, though, and I'm not sure what they
That's not it.
engender. Oh, you have thaumaturgy, whatever that gives me.
That's a knowledge of magic
Knowledge.
stuff.
Yeah. Thaumaturgy is casting magic.
Yeah.
You have a power attribute, right?
I'm looking for that. If I do, I don't know where it is.
It'd be with the rest of your main stats.
Oh, yeah, I have 4, yes. 4 power.
Yeah. You can full on cast magic. Yeah. Totally.
Okay, cool. Way cool.
Yeah, you've got thaumaturgy. You got a power of 4. You're good to go.
Let's go find a window that is got a curtain on it and see if he's still out there.
Sure.
I'm going to do that the normal way.
When you go look out the window, they are not there anymore. They're gone.
Damn, they've moved on. Oh well, too late. Did I get? I didn't get a good look at him other than he was short and dark.
Short,
Right.
wearing dark clothing.
Okay. All right. Well, I think to find out who sent them, your best bet at this point would be Doc Celyddon. Or I can try scrying, but my scrying is a lot different than his. And we can do it on the bullet. We can try to do it on the bullet.
Well, the thing about the bullet, you could try, right?
I said we
But
could try.
the bullet wouldn't lead you to the person, but the bullet could lead you to the gun.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I was going to suggest.
Mm-hmm.
Because the bullet doesn't really care who the person was, but the bullet and the
Yeah, it
gun,
just counts
they have a
our-
relationship.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's see if we can find the gun.
Do
and
we
then from
want
there we-
to leave that as like a cliffhanger? Because it's 10:30 and
It's 30.
some of us
Yes.
turn into pumpkins.
Yeah,
Yes.
we might turn into pumpkins. Yes.
Okay, so it is 4 in the morning on Saturday.
And this is the second person in the group who's gotten shot at. Interestingly enough.
Yeah.
Who's gotten,
But he's-
who's gotten
he's-
hit?
Yeah, he's
He's-
kind
He's got
of
hit.
been shot.
Like,
Just not out.
yeah.
But
Um,
this person intended to kill. The other person, I don't know how much he intended to kill, because he ran after his first shot.
well, this person was better at it.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And had Johnny Diamond not ducked behind a car and hid and snuck away,
Yeah.
he very well may have succeeded.
Yeah.
But, so 4 in the morning, we got Leslie and Johnny Diamond. Johnny Diamond will be fine by morning. Carol's getting a nice full night's sleep. Doc Celyddon's doing whatever he's doing. And
Getting himself into a
I said fairy don't need sleep.
all right then. And we will pick back up on that on next Tuesday. So,
Good, I get the stability ball to bounce on.
this has been Rough Magic with Donald Von Griffin, Karen Torres, Leslie Denberger,
And Penny
Lloyd
wants treats.
Montgomery, and me, GM Brenda Blackmore. It's better to be shot at than to be shot. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Next week. Everybody have a nice evening.
big
It's
night,
on
everyone.
for Leslie.